Hello, YouTubers. Hello, world. Getting lots of questions, some of them pointy, some of them friendly. Getting lots of questions on the videos that I've uploaded. In fact, there's close on thousands and thousands of comments, and I'm going to tackle some of them. Obviously, some of them are silly. They're fine. Welcome those as well. But I'm going to have a bit of a catch-up in this video with some of the questions and some of the comments on the videos, on the most recent videos. First one is from Douglas Aitken. Don't give up the day job, chunky. Blimey, Douglas, it's unlike you to be funny. And no, I haven't. Nor do I have any intention of. So my day job is my day job, and it stays that way. And I love my day job. Love it. James McNulty. Oh, I miss Alex. He cheered me up during lockdown. I'm glad that he did, James, because that was a tough, tough time for everyone, regardless of position or rank or opulence. Everyone struggled. Everyone. So I won't take it away from him. He cheered a lot of people up. Good on him. And I'm glad that you're in a better place, James. Much, much more glad. There's a few questions. Matty PW and Amelia Grassi have said, hang on, you're wrong. What's straw man? Now, I've mentioned this a couple of times, and I'll give you it in the more simple terms, in its most simplest form. Straw man, so you take somebody to a civil court and sue them. Say you're taking them for 100 grand, and you win. And then the judge goes, right, I'm going to make a award of £100,000. And then the defendant stands up and says, Your Honour, I've got nout. I've not got a pot to pee in. Nout, nix, nada, zero. That's the strawman defence. I've got nout, Your Honour. So you could make an award of a tenner, and I haven't got it. So I've got nout. That's strawman defence. So, as I've said in previous videos, it'll be interesting to see whether young Alex has disposed of his assets or gotten rid of them or hidden them. Because he's got two civil court cases coming up, Jeremy Vine and DC Percival, with the Police Federation backing her. And I've no doubt that both are going to win their cases. No doubt. Simply because he's a convicted stalker. And Jeremy Vine's going to win his case, hands down. And there's every expectation by some that it will bankrupt Alex Belfield. Whatever he's got, it will bankrupt him. So that's the straw man defence. I've got now, Your Honour, you can have everything that I've got, which is zero. That's the straw man defence. Purple Sunflower writes, Adrian, I can only assume Alex never visualised this outcome connected to his behaviour. He was so sure that he was in the right. Well, I think the way to look at this is you need to see the timeline, the whole timeline of the last 2 years, because you can identify when he's charged. You can identify exactly what's going on by his responses. The nastiness kicked in when he knew he was going to the Crown Court. And some people in their comments, which I will get to eventually, they're saying, but he asked to go to the Crown Court. No, he didn't. He may have said that in his videos, but he couldn't ask for it to go to the Crown Court. That was the magistrate's decision. And the magistrate was looking at, I think the person that commented said 80 years, correctly, because there was 8 complainants, and he could have been done 10 years each. That's 80 years. So the maximum sentence that a magistrate could have given was 12 months. They obviously couldn't deal with that case. It was too big. So I had to go to a Crown Court, to a court that could deal with it proportionately and appropriately. So that's why it went to Crown Court. Not Alex saying, I want my day in court with the BBC and I want my day in court with Nottinghamshire Police. No. He never sued the BBC. He never sued Nottinghamshire Police. It was all a ruse. It was a lie. Don't you get that? And then after he's been found guilty, he turns around and says, oh, well, it's pointless suing the BBC for 12 grand. That's not what he said to you initially. Give me your money. Everybody that's a subscriber, give me £1. And sadly, lots of people fell for it. Now, I'm not here to judge people. People thought they were doing the right thing, quite rightly. But it was the convicted stalker that wasn't. What he was doing was building up a fund, because at that point, when he was asking for your money, it wasn't the criminal case that he was defending. It was the civil cases for defamation for 100 grand from DC Percival and the Police Federation. So he knew that he was in trouble. He thought he would get off with a criminal case. He knew he was going to struggle with the civil cases. And he will. But that's where your money's gone, to the civil case. Now, the costs for the criminal case was 10 grand, and he coughed that immediately. So he's got money somewhere. He's already put 25 grand on credit, as it were, for the Jeremy Vine case. He was ordered to pay 25 grand already. And he paid it. So he's got the money. So strawman defence? Tenuous. To Emma L. Emma writes, according to an article in The Guardian today, Adrian, Alex's sentence can't be increased due to a technicality. It will be interesting to see if he's granted an appeal. Well, I've looked at the Guardian article, and thank you for alerting me to that. And thank you to Retro on his bikes, who also was the inspiration. I'm going to do another video on that, simply because Alex is in a whole world of pain. I wish somebody would tell him to stop, because it's only going to get more painful. The civil cases are not the end of it. Jerry Bootneck, you made me laugh out loud, Jerry. You're utter wrong'un. Adrian, maybe Belfield wants to do that extra time, ? After all, didn't he say it was like being on a cruise? Jerry, are you insinuating Alex likes cruising? Mark Allen, calm down, Adrian, if you're hard of thinking. Another Belfield saying, you're copying him, it's blatant. Let's face it, your posts are dreadful. Mark, you're far too kind. I've told you before, that phrase was never Alex's. He couldn't dream it up. He never made it up. He never created it. It's Colin Lamont's phrase. Scotty McClue. I know him as Colin Lamont. Scotty McClue's phrase that young Alex nicked, stole, thieved, whatever you want to call it, it was never Alex Belfield's. And every time, as a professional courtesy, I use someone else's line, I always credit them. Why? Because it's a courtesy to other professionals whom I've known for a long time. 30 years. Evening, Scotty. To Super Confident Man, Adrian, does anyone know why Stephen Fry, I love the guy, is able to visit the US despite having been in prison for credit card fraud? Well, I've done a bit of research, Super Confident Man, and Stephen Fry did 3 months when he was aged 17. He's talked about it quite openly. He did 3 months for credit card fraud when he was 17. And more than 5 years has elapsed, because he's a bit of an old boy now. Now, I'm going to give you the UK version and the American version. Now, the UK version, the Rehabilitation of Offenders Act does not apply in America. Neither does spent convictions, regardless of when they occurred. But here's the interesting thing. Examples of visa ineligibilities in context of criminality and as provided for under the Immigration and Nationality Act includes the following. That's the Immigration and Nationality Act in America, the INA. And this is from section 212A and B. If you have 2 or more criminal convictions for which the total sentence of confinement was 5 years or more, you're not getting in. Your name's not on the door, you're not getting in. So Alex has 4 criminal convictions. It's 2 or more. He's got 4. Added to that, the total sentence of confinement was 5 years or more. He's got 5.5. So he's got 4 convictions, 5.5 years. It's going to be a tough ask for him to get back into America. Not quite sure what the US Embassy or US Immigration will make of it, but he will have to declare it. And sure as eggs are eggs, the Yanks might not let him in. Even if he says, I've been here before for work, or I've been here for holidays. You've just been sentenced to 5.5 years, 4 convictions. Let's see how that rolls out in a few years. Mark Allen again. Blimey, Mark, you're keen. Adrian, maybe I'm mixed up, but did you not have complaints made against you? Racism, homophobia, sexism that were upheld. Firstly, Mark, that's not how you spell homophobia. Then I believe you were caught out giving inaccurate information, which the radio watchdog upheld. Who uses radio watchdog? Then there was the balance, bias and fairness rules. Like I say, maybe I'm getting mixed up. Can you clarify or deny these points? I'm sure your followers would like to know. Mark. Sound like a dog with a hair lip. Mark. Feel like a witch hunt. If you don't like me, stop watching the videos. I'm just enjoying these. Why can't I make them? But I will say this. What's your source? Who are you quoting, Mark? YouTuber? Twitter? Or actual radio watchdog? So come on, name your source and I'm happy to engage. But if you can't, feels like a witch hunt. Mark. Look, anybody, whether it was me, Pete Price, Alan Robson, James Whale, Alan Beswick, Clive Bull, Scotty McClue, the bastions, the real talent of late night phone-ins who were highly successful up and down the country. Pete Price in Liverpool, James Whale in Leeds and Newcastle, in London and nationally, and Beswick, both sides of the Pennines, or Alan Robson, who was just the man. In the northeast of England, nobody was higher or better or greater than Alan Robson, let me tell you. I listened to him for a lot, decades. Lord of the Fawns. So I had hundreds of complaints, as will all of the guys that I've just mentioned. All of them. It was part of the territory. We had complaints. Some upheld, some not. That's what happens when you tell people truths that they don't want to hear. I mean, I can regale you with some of the stuff that I did back in the day. I mean, it was, some people would say it was shock jockery. That's all Katie Hopkins has done. She's kind of taken that shtick and put it on video and YouTube and a Daily Mail column. It's kind of that shock jockery. Loads of them in the States. Some of them were, fabulous inspirations from the States. Rush Limbaugh. Always follow the money. There were others, but that was the territory. Always had complaints. I mean, I once called the Pope chief paedophile, and somebody complained. And my MD at the time, he said, Adrian, because it wasn't upheld, how did you get away with that? I said, because I was telling the truth, boss. And subsequently, the amount of abuse cases in North America could still bankrupt the Catholic Church. And then there was the famous nuke Turkey, or there was, I think the newspapers, the nuke Turkey got a bit lively, because there was basically the background to it and the story to it was that there was some Galatasaray fans went to some game that I think it was Arsenal fans were playing in Holland, and one of the Arsenal fans was knifed to death. There was some high-level questions asked when I said nuke Turkey. I mean, come on. Who do they think I am? Donald Trump? I haven't got the button. So, just a little catch-up with some of the comments on some of the videos, and keep them coming, because I will answer them. There is, some people are saying, are you going to do a live, Adrian? Are you going to do a phone-in? Look, I would love to. The only restriction is time. So that's why sometimes you won't hear from me from a few days and then all of a sudden there's a lot of videos, simply because I'm working my day job. I'm away from YouTube. I'm away from social media. But I will look at it. I'm open to it and will consider it. I don't know how to do it. But if doing a live is very similar to these catch-ups that I do, then I'm happy to do that for you. I won't be able to do it regularly, as in like every Wednesday or every Sunday or every whenever. But I will look at it for you because I would love to interact with you live. Because I'm not as gentle as I am in these videos, let me tell you. And I am looking at putting some of the audio from my old radio shows on this channel so you can get a flavour of what I used to do. Probably make your hair curl. I mean, there are people in South Wales that heard my late night phone in. And if you've got a copy of the Top Man tapes, go and look on eBay or something. They'll be around somewhere. They've been around for 20 years. CDs, but they've been around for 20 years. And if they're still around, there's Fake or Real, which other national broadcasters try to copy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Maybe I'll put that on this channel. That'll entertain you. My name's Adrian Allen. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, but most of all, your indulgence. Don't forget to ding the bell, and I'll see you in the next video.